I saw a post on Facebook, actually it's all over in the internet, about the open letter of the Ateneo Martial Law Museum to Toni Gonzaga, relating to the recent interview of Senator Bongbong Marcos in her show. They expressed disappointment and disdain over the endeavor of Toni Gonzaga's team. Well, I don't want to be political. I don't want that. And nevertheless, I don't want to be showbiz, considering that it involves a politician and a showbiz personality. But I wanted to raise my opinion. This is anyway an opinion, considering that it involves a part of history, of our history, you and my history, and how people were looking up to that part of history. And I was when I was reading the letter, open letter, I noticed four things, and there were four things that I wanted to raise relating to this. Um, you know, they accuse Toni Gonzaga as a platform to whitewash the atrocities and the injustices of the Marcos regime and their human rights violations. Accordingly, it was proven in the history. Maybe, yes, according to them. So, number one that I took notice was in the second paragraph, the first sentence, inviting the son of a murderous and corrupt dictator. Well, this does not refer to Bongbong Marcos. This line refers to his father, our former president, Ferdinand Indralin Marcos. You know, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to deny that there were killings in his time. Yes, but the calling of a person murderous person, I do not think it's really appropriate to say, simply because something happened, an accident, or maybe a, there is something that happened in your community, and you were the leader in that community, and then you're gonna say you are the mastermind of that crime. Well, let us try to understand the word murderous. It's actually an adjective describing the kind of person you are. But let's go with the root word murder. Murder is actually a plan, killing, ending someone's life in a systematic way. And, well, yeah, that's murder. But to be called Ferdinand Marcos, to be called murderous, I do not think he is a murderous person. He has to use the maximum extent of the law by virtue of the power vested on him by the Congress, that he has to execute order in our society, in our country at that time. It is the mandate of every president in any country. But Marcos is a very brilliant person to be only to be called murderers. So, but I'm not saying there were no killings, no. And at the same time, he was considered to be murderous and corrupt. There were allegations about him earning so much money, and and he he pocketed those money, the money that he allegedly taken from the government. I've heard, I do not know if it's true, but I've heard something, a news that the Philippine government only um, took a loan for $2 billion at that time, and $1 equals 2 pesos. So that only means that he only has $4 billion. So they were saying Marcos had 100 billions, maybe they take it. And to this day, they could not prove that one, considering that there was one there was a court that acquits Ferdinand Marcos and Imelda Marcos relating to that corruption, allegation of corruption. So it's also proven in the historical records. Okay, so number two, we have the second thing that caught my attention was it was actually a propaganda that intends to erase the factual and proven disastrous effects of the Marcos regime on our country. Well, I have interviewed many who happen to be part of the Masagana program. They were given a boat, especially fishermen. They were given a boat, a pump boat, and then they are going to pay that one in a manner that they are not forced to pay it. So I do not think that it was a disaster. Let us try to understand how it became a disaster. What were the effects? What disastrous effects of the Marcos regime that they were trying to express about? They had not explicitly state that one in the letter. So I do not know what disastrous effects of the Marcos regime. Or actually, we were living according to them, because I was born in 1982, so I cannot say how they live their lives at the moment. But as you can see, people are telling that during the time of Marcos, the community is peaceful. I do not know, maybe I'm wrong. But I wanted the martial law museum to state what are the disastrous effects of the Marcos regime that they were telling about. Number 3, the continue to escape accountability for their actions. Well, there were many presidents after Marcos. We have the arch enemy, they say, the Aquino family. First was Cory, the former president, Corazon Aquino. She was president after Marcos. And they filed a case against Marcos. And I never heard a court convicting Marcos of the crimes that he committed. And considering that he could not represent himself in the court because he was exiled along with his family in Hawaii, and and you know, it can be influenced by the Aquino and her allies. I mean the decision of the courts. But you tell me what court that convicts Marcos of, or that had taken Marcos accountable of the accusations against him. I do not think there is. So, what accountability they wanted to escape from? So, I'm going to ask you that question. You know, and then they goes on telling Toni Gonzaga to, think about it, and why not try to invite the victims of and the surviving families of martial law. Well, actually, we had done that for 30 years. And yet, I do not know why they could not get the justice these families deserved against the Marcoses. I'm not a pro Marcos, no. I only heard what he did, but maybe it's true, or maybe it's not. You can speak for yourself because you're living in Manila. I never been gone to Manila. So, and then they went on suggesting about using her platform to promote or disseminate the exemplary models. So, well, it's all right. Number 4. They ended the letter with, or they ended with we owe our democracy to the people who sacrificed their lives. Maybe, I do not know, maybe they were referring to the sacrifice of Ninoy Aquino, who was shot to death in the Manila International Airport at that time for freedom and democracy. That was the capitalization of the EDSA one. They capitalized on the killing of the death of Ninoy Aquino, in which we do understand that as well. But I would like to ask, during Marcos' time, was our freedom taken from us? Or, was it totally taken from everyone? Because I am so confused about why they were patronizing the people who sacrificed their lives accordingly for our freedom. So, I'm not really against the open letter, because that is the prerogative, and this is a democratic country. You can say whatever you wanted to say. You can make people believe what you want to believe, but in the end, it is the person's choice that should be taken into consideration. So, maybe I'm not a friend of Toni. We do not know each other. I only saw her on TV, and basically she did not know me. And I'm not taking a ride with her issue. No, I was just trying to open my opinion to you. I do not know if you're going to agree with that. So I think Toni has enough about the things that she heard about the martial law. That is why she decided, she works maybe CBN for many years already, and maybe she heard about the martial law to be side of the group of people and how they suffer during the martial law. I think it's high time to ask also the group of people who were involved in peddling the martial law. So I think this ends my conversation with you. You can agree with me or you can disagree with me. Whatever you wanted to say, eh, you have the right to your own opinion. Okay, so but to end, we have to respect what Toni did because that's her choice and that's her show. If you don't like it, I think you have to make your own show as well. But as for me, I do not think I am not a showbiz person. I don't even watch teleserie in any network. So that will be all. Hi. Goodbye.